Welcome to Casablanca Cargo. This is Kathy, and today I'm attempting to use some IOD transfers for the first time. Now, this is a little cabinet that I thrifted, I don't know how many years ago, and it looks like a little locker, and here are some stencils that I'm going to use. I repainted the cabinet just recently, and I used chalk paint this time. And so here's one of the stencils I'm going to use. You can get this on Amazon. I think it comes in a 2-pack. And I'm going to use different elements in the Eiffel Tower in this decoration of this cabinet. And I believe I got this stencil in a pack at the thrift store. So I'm starting with phthalo green. Did I pronounce that right? I don't know. And I'm just going to tap it in with a stencil brush. And once I'm satisfied with the coverage of that color, I'm coming back in with the second color, which is an olive green. And then after that, I come back in with a brighter color of green, which was parakeet. I should tell you a little bit about the history of this cabinet. I got it, I don't know, 5, 6, 9 years ago. I thought it was really cute. It looked like a little locker, and I just didn't like the color. It was a sort of a grayish green. I don't know, but I decided to paint it, and I used acrylic, kind of a burgundy color, and then I used napkins to decoupage it, and I hated the way it turned out, and I just let it go and sit there for a few more years until just recently I decided to paint it again, and this time I used a white chalk paint first. Did a couple coats of that, and then I had some deep purple chalk paint that I got to paint a different cabinet, and I used that, and I just I didn't think I was gonna record anything, so I didn't record painting the cabinet over. It's a really sturdy cabinet, but the problems have been for me in painting it is the locker combinations, the fake gills vents on the doors, the hinges, just I don't know, but I wanted to make it into something that I would say, oh, I love it now. It's so sturdy, and I got it. It's just something I wanted to try. So here at the bottom color, I am just using 2 of the colors, the dark and the parakeet, because I don't know about the transfers, how much it's going to cover up. This is Timeless Gray. This is that stencil I showed you at the front of the video. I wanted some lettering on the, on the doors, on the sides, And I looked on Amazon to see about ordering a separate stencil, and I thought, well, I don't want that much lettering, so maybe I can manipulate this stencil. And again, it's, and those windows on the front of the placard, those are a pain. But, I just tried to do what I could, and this is with the Timeless Gray acrylic paint that I'm using here. And just going over and using different elements of that stencil, trying to get it to show up. I don't know if it was the lighting I had. I couldn't see it when it was on the white gray area. The gray area on the cabinet, I sponged that on, and it's a chalk paint, the French linen chalk paint, and so I couldn't see if it actually picked up or not, if it was actually there, until I came back in the next day, and I was like, oh, I see it now. Oh my. So the purpose of the leaves in the purple part was just to fill in gaps if there was any with the transfer. Like I said, this is my first time using the IOD transfer, such a large transfer, and I really don't know how it was gonna work out. I tried looking it up online and watching videos, and you just don't know. I wanted to have the Eiffel Tower on the inside of the door because I plan to keep the cabinet open for the most part. And so the main focal point would be the door on the inside. So here I am again with the gray and just, dabbing on the gray color on the Eiffel Tower. And in that gray area, I figured, this time I did learn my lesson, and I taped down the stencil instead of just holding it. Okay, so I can't really see that. My eyesight has changed, and, very subtle coloring like that, I can't tell the difference. I can't see it. So as I go in with the lettering now and the other elements, I'm thinking about what can I use again over the Eiffel Tower to still be subtle, but show up a little bit more, just a little bit more, than that, because I can't see it. So I decided I'm going to use metallic copper, and this is another acrylic. And I'm just going to, even as it's not completely dry, I'm just going to go over the Eiffel Tower bit with the metallic copper. And I don't know, I just, my thoughts as I was making this, I wanted it to be like post-apocalyptic Paris, but make it pretty. I'm very fascinated by those documentary series like Life Without People, and then how the shrubbery and the just everything comes back and grows over the industrial city, and it's at some points it could be a little bit scary, but then I thought, well, what if we just made it pretty, like flowers grew. So this is my post-apocalyptic Paris scene that I'm coming up with. Okay, so then when I lifted the stencil, I was like, okay, yes, now I like it. Now this is what I was going for in my mind. Now here are my IOD transfers. I got Midnight Garden. Again, I was like, which one do I get? What do? I don't know. I was drawn to the dark reddish flowers and the greenery. So this is the one that I ordered, and when it came in, I was, okay, so these are really big. But the other ones that I saw on Amazon, just regular transfers, they just seemed too small, and I thought I needed, bigger flowers, but I didn't know they're going to be this big. But I'm just trying to, I don't know, do something different, and I just want to do something that will make me love this cabinet before I send it back to the thrift store. So, yeah, now for me, the hard part with these transfers is I can't see behind that white backing. So I'm not really sure how much to cut off, where to cut it off, and what to do. I don't want to cut flowers off if I can help it. And in this way, I'm just now, trying to position the transfer and try to figure out, envision where things are going to go and what's going to happen. And again, I've got the hinges on the door, and I've got the space between the door and the cabinet, which I completely forgot about when I was like, okay, so I knew this from videos. You have to, take a sharp something and cut the transfer so that when you shut and open the door, it will shut and open, not ruin the transfer. I completely forgot about that. I told myself, don't forget about that, and then I forgot about that. And as I'm cutting away part of the transfer, I thought, maybe I'm going to see about wrapping those. And I don't know what they call those black and white flowers. I call them ghost flowers. I'm just going to wrap that over into the cabinet and see how that goes. Now, I do really like how this large piece, this is my first time, and of course, go big, go big. And I did like how it just stayed there. It didn't move around. That was really nice. And I'm using the stick that comes with the transfers. And I always hated it when I kept going off the edge like that. It would scare me, but I'm really just digging in there and trying to get that transfer to come off the carrier paper there. I think that's what they call it. I don't know. And I was very, very glad that it adhered to right there, on the cabinet, between the door and the cabinet, and just peeking, seeing if it's transferring, if it's going to work or not. Yeah, and it actually did, and I was just really amazed that it was actually adhering to the door. But I still wasn't sure how it was going to work out. And, just lift it like I saw on YouTube videos, lift it and check and lift it and check and just keep rubbing until the thing is completely adhered. And here I'm just snipping part of the transfer paper so that I can rub that flower over onto the cabinet. I didn't really know how else to do it. just to cut it like that and just keep working on it, and it actually transferred very nicely. This is the side of the cabinet that will be facing out into the room. And again, which flowers? So I decided I'm going to use that big red flower and, see how that goes. Well, now it's time to address that front door that's just got all the little things that are in the way. But here's how I conquered this part. Okay. Well, as you can see here, I added some more of those black and white flowers and a little bit of red there on the side of the cabinet, and I really didn't like that big flower at the top. So I combined some red with some raw amber to try to mimic the color down below, and now I like it a lot better. And here we are. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.